There are earbuds that sit in your routine quietly, and then there are earbuds that slowly start reshaping how you interact with your day. The Liberty 5 Pro Max sits in that second category. They share the same core earbud hardware, so the sound, comfort, and core performance stay consistent. However, the difference begins at the case level, where Soundcore clearly split two experiences instead of just two models. And that is where we begin. Starting with the earbuds themselves, the design feels noticeably refined. The body is about 38% smaller than the previous flagship direction, and that immediately changes how they sit in the ear. Instead of a firm, you-feel-it-there presence, they lean into a softer, more adaptive fit. At around 6 grams per earbud, the weight distribution feels balanced. As a result, even longer listening sessions do not create that pressure buildup you usually associate with in-ear designs. Now, the more interesting thing is its case. It got a 1.78-inch AMOLED screen and its touchscreen. The more you use it, the more it feels like a control hub rather than just a display. You can do a lot right from there, to the point where you might not even open the app. And it also brings a few features that honestly feel a bit surprising. Let's talk about that. Now, the case is not just about the display. The bigger shift comes with the AI Note Taker system. The case can record in-room conversations using its built-in microphone, then process that audio through the app to generate transcripts, summaries, and action points. So whether it is a meeting, lecture, or interview, it turns raw audio into structured notes. However, it is important to stay grounded here. This system only captures in-person audio. It does not record phone calls or online meetings, so its focus is clearly physical environments, not digital communication. Additionally, transcription usage runs on a tiered system, starting with a free monthly allowance and scaling through subscription plans if needed. And there's also this translation feature built in. You can actually treat it like a bridge between two people. One person wears the earbuds, the other works with the case, and both just speak naturally in their own language. It handles the translation on the spot, so the meaning comes through in real time, one side in your ears and the other side on the case with the app. From there, the case opens up a lot more control. ANC, battery, playback, recording, translation, settings. It all sits right there without needing the phone. The screen itself feels sharp and quick, almost like a tiny smartwatch built into the case rather than just an accessory panel. So what you get here is not just a smarter case, but a workflow tool built around real-world capture. Moving into sound, and its 9.2mm wool paper diaphragm drivers set the tone right away. Instead of pushing an aggressive bass-first profile, the sound leans toward balance with a slight warmth in the mids. Vocals sit forward just enough to feel present, especially in dialogue-heavy content or vocal-focused tracks, but they do not overpower the mix. At the same time, the bass response stays controlled. It delivers impact when needed, but it does not stretch into the mids. That separation is what keeps the sound clean even in dense tracks. Furthermore, with Hear ID 5.0 personalization, the sound signature adjusts subtly based on your hearing profile. It does not transform the earbuds into something completely different, but it refines tone balance in a way that feels more locked in to your ears. So overall, the tuning sits in that safe but enjoyable zone. Not overly analytical, not overly colored, just clean enough to stay engaging over long sessions. Now this is where the Liberty 5 Pro Max clearly pushes ahead.
Right now, we're in a pretty noisy place, and you can still hear my voice pretty clear without any effort. That's the noise canceling doing its job in real time, keeping my voice right in front. But without the earbuds, this is what it actually sounds like. And once the earbuds go on, that noise just drops, and my voice comes through clean and easy.
With 8 microphones, 2 VPUs, and AI-driven processing, voice pickup is not just filtered, it is actively separated from the environment. Even in noisy streets or echo-heavy indoor spaces, speech remains stable and readable on the other end. In fact, this model line carries a Guinness World Record recognition for highest speech quality score in TWS earbuds based on objective testing. While that does not guarantee perfection in every condition, it does reflect how seriously call clarity has been engineered here. In use, you do not need to adjust your voice much. Normal speaking volume is enough, and even slight background chaos does not easily break clarity. So for calls, meetings, or voice-heavy workflows, this becomes one of the strongest areas of the entire system. Active noise cancellation here uses adaptive ANC 4.0, supported by multiple sensors and AI-based processing. What stands out is not just the depth of silence, but how consistent it feels. When you move from a quiet room to a busy street, the transition is smooth. There is no sudden pressure shift or unnatural pumping effect, which can often break immersion in other earbuds. In real-world usage, low-frequency noise like buses, fans, or subway rumble gets significantly reduced. Meanwhile, higher-frequency noise like chatter is softened rather than completely erased. So instead of total isolation, you get a controlled quiet layer, and that matters more in daily use, especially if you are moving between environments frequently. Alongside the case features, both models support offline voice commands. Around 20 built-in controls allow you to skip tracks, adjust volume, or take calls without touching your phone. Response time is quick, and because it works offline, there is no dependency on network stability. In use, this reduces small friction moments throughout the day. You interact less with your phone and more directly with your audio setup. On paper, battery life sits at around 6.5 hours per charge with ANC on, and roughly 28 hours total with the case. However, once you activate multiple smart features together, including voice control and AI processing, real-world usage drops closer to about 4 hours per charge and 17 hours total. So the system clearly scales power consumption based on how smart you go. Thankfully, fast charging balances this well. A quick 5-minute charge can deliver up to 4 hours of playback, which keeps it practical in daily scenarios. Bluetooth 6.1 brings stable connection performance along with multi-point support. Switching between devices feels smooth in typical use, without noticeable dropouts or delays. There is also AI-based sound enhancement that reduces compression loss during transmission. It does not drastically change sound character, but it slightly improves perceived clarity in complex tracks. What makes the Liberty 5 Pro Max interesting is not just the upgrade, but the direction it's taking. It still feels like a refined premium pair of earbuds with strong call quality, solid ANC, and a balanced sound profile. But at the same time, it starts leaning into something more hybrid, where earbuds and a smart assistant begin to overlap. It quietly pushes the idea of what listening devices can actually do. And that shift is really what sets this lineup apart. That was all. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos. And don't forget to share your experience in the comments.